my headspace that I'm in now is way better than what I was before, and that's a matter to me.
1, 2, 3.
You know, it's so economical. Like, he puts pressure on guys without throwing too many punches, and then he starts to figure holes out, and the way he can explode and move in with one shot, my God.
All-time great heavyweights, all right? And it shouldn't. But he's sparring the level of heavyweight that, more experienced than Jake Paul, right? But Jake Paul has beaten those heavyweights himself, all right?
Gervonta Davis didn't hold back on the Joe Rogan podcast, sending a brutal warning to Jake Paul ahead of their upcoming clash. The hard-hitting star made it clear he's not treating this fight as a sideshow, but as a personal vendetta. When Rogan pressed for details, Davis warned, "This ain't entertainment no more. This is personal."
Now it's just like, I don't know, probably this was a good thing, us fighting. Because you have someone that, we come from two different sides, like, of the world. We still on the same path to get the same thing. I gotta be in there with him. I gotta be able to, his arm reach, his size, his power, the way he moving and things like that. I just gotta adapt as I fight him. I think it's gonna be a great event. Every time I fight is fireworks. Boxing wins come November the 14th. We just giving boxing what it needs, and that's excitement.
From Davis's perspective, this fight is about redemption. After his draw in March 2025 with Lamont Roach Jr., the first non-win of his professional career, many questioned whether his aura had begun to fade. Now, Davis frames this bout as a way to silence doubters and reaffirm his status among boxing's elite, even if the fight isn't under traditional sanctioning.
Tank, first off, don't watch Tank. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? You support it, then what you doing? You can't not support and support at the same time, right? So if you're a boxing purist, then this fight with Roach is really more for you. It's going to be more up your alley, If you just like all entertainment, all fights, all hypes, all everything, then you're going to want to tune in to the Tank and Paul show there, because that's all for entertainment. What does it say? For entertainment purposes only, right? It's just say like somewhere in the small print of the promotion. For entertainment, don't do this at home, kids. So fine.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer. For entertainment purposes only, So, it's money-making purposes only,
Paul has publicly acknowledged that his upcoming fight against Gervonta Davis is the toughest challenge of his career. Despite holding a size and reach advantage, Paul recognizes Davis as a top 10 pound-for-pound fighter whose skill, power, and experience make him the most locked-in opponent he's faced. He emphasizes that it's not just about his own strengths, he must bring something extra to the table.
Fight that I've actually ever been, because I know how good these people are that I'm sparring, and being able to see how good they are and knowing how good Tank is, it's actually going to be my toughest test to date.
Yeah, I think, Jake, you could make the argument, right? Pound for pound wise, this guy's the most ferocious dude in the whole sport, couldn't you?
For sure. I think he has probably one of the highest knockout percentages.
Yeah, 90-something percent, right?
Exactly. And just his speed, his elusiveness, his ring IQ, his conditioning. He's gone 12 rounds so many different times, something that I've never even done. So he's going to be sharp all the way through. I mean, the list goes on. And so just actually being vulnerable for a second, it's like, this is crazy. This is scary. It's kind of keeping me up at night.
Jake, how do you prepare for, like you said, a guy who is shorter than you? How do you find a sparring opponent to replicate something that obviously, there's nobody else out there that's Tank Davis? How do you prepare for a guy that's different stature-wise?
Yeah, no, we have world champions. Raymond Ford in the 130-pound weight class. We got Montana Lovin. Shakur Stevenson is coming in this week. So Just sparring against guys on their level and people who have, been doing this their whole entire lives. But we're really focusing on speed. And not as much on power. I'm not doing as much like weightlifting and all of that stuff. I'm actually trying to lose some muscle so that I have less weight and so that my punches are...
Paul's rise has been driven by crossover marketing and spectacle, but this opponent marks his biggest challenge in terms of boxing credentials. A win against Davis, regardless of the bout's official classification, would shift perceptions of Paul's seriousness. The $50 million purse he publicly mentioned underscores that the stakes are incredibly high.
We're getting Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. What can you tell me about that? What can you tell me about why Jake and Anthony has maybe been put to the side for now?
Yeah, they always told us that it was, we were looking at that fight for February of next year, and they always said that there was a chance that Jake would fight in November. I think, wasn't I the one that broke Jake Paul against Gervonta Davis 6 months ago or something? I knew that they'd agree that deal. I didn't know they were about to announce it then, but I did know that they'd agreed that deal previously. So I don't like it, if I'm honest. I mean, I think we need to really differentiate between boxing and an entertainment concept, and that's what that is. It's a freak show. It's entertainment. It's a lightweight fighting a cruiserweight. With, I don't know, is it bigger gloves and certain minutes per round? I don't know what it is, but, I understand the market, and I understand this freak show shock kind of the world mentality of people potentially tuning in. Is that a step too far? Maybe. I mean, I hated Jake Paul against Mike Tyson, but it did massive numbers. I hate Jake Paul against Gervonta Davis. It'll probably do massive numbers. So that's when you really have to differentiate yourself between, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it isn't going to do good business. Now, whether you want to be involved with it is another kettle of fish. I don't want to be involved with it, but I do respect the fact that it's going to do big numbers.
Adding to the hype, Jake Paul has brought Shakur Stevenson into his training camp, an unexpected move that caught the attention of fans and insiders. Stevenson, a three-division world champion known for his technical brilliance and defensive mastery, will help sharpen Paul's speed, ring IQ, and overall boxing finesse, rather than relying solely on size or brute force.
Barring, we got some great guys coming in. Some really experienced southpaws that are smaller. I think Montana Love is coming in. Shakur Stevenson wants to come in. Jermaine Ortiz, we're going to hit up Erickson, Lubin, some of these guys. So we're just going to bring in a plethora of fighters that are fast.
Training updates are scarce, but leaked concerns from Davis's trainer highlight some unusual fight conditions. The use of 12-ounce gloves, more common in exhibitions, and the format itself have raised eyebrows. The trainer argued that, given the weight disparity, changing glove sizes or rounds might have balanced the fight better. Despite protests, the bout is set for 10 3-minute rounds with 12-ounce gloves for both fighters.
Paul versus Tank fight is getting really weird.
Gervonta looks scared for his life because the rules are out. They're crazy.
Oh, so everyone thought that the fight was at 190. Instead it's at 195, and this weight difference is scaring the life out of little Tank.
Over 10 3-minute rounds.
I said it was 190.
The next dispute comes with the gloves.
Little Tank is used to fighting in 8-ounce gloves.
Baby glove.
This fight will be in 12. Hands might be too small. Also, Tank just fought in a 12 3-minute round fight against Roach.
Yes, and now he's fighting in 10 3-minute rounds, which isn't too bad. Well done, Jake.
Exhibition though, can he win?
Yes, he can actually win. It will be overlooked by 3 sanctioned judges.
So he can actually still win and knock him out.
But here's the trick. It's body punches only.
And there's a reason. That's because Tank said, look, this is a bit unfair. I don't want to punch up. I want to punch at my head height. Where does it fall?
At Jake Paul's belly.
Oof.
So apparently we've heard there's no knockdown rules, but aside from that, it's a pretty well-rounded fight. Oh yeah, and there's some drug testing involved.
But Jake Paul for the win.
My only concern is, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's 2 pounds away from Jake. He fights in 10s. Tank fighting 8s. So he losing 4 ounces. So my thing is, they said, put Tank in 8s, put him in 10s. That makes the fight more interesting. You know what I'm saying? And we'll go from there because I understand. And I brought that question up to one of his handlers. They was, no, we don't want to do no mixed match. It's supposed to be an expedition.
Why does it matter?
What, now y'all want the wins and the loss. You know what I'm saying? All these prescriptions, but you want to be great. Being great is really pushing the envelope. You know what I'm saying? Tank don't really care, So when I brought this up, he said, dang, facts. You know what I'm saying? So again, he can weigh the 10s and we weigh the 8s.
I like when it's all said and done and when you guys go off, They going to the next man. So if y'all can make a big payday, go get that payday. The sport of boxing don't love you. That's the problem with this sport. It's like what Jake Paul did, man, it's crazy, but people getting paid off of it.
Yeah.
So if he can call any one of y'all out and y'all can get that payday, I say go get it, baby. I'm not mad at it.
For me, and I'm not mad at this move at all for Tank Davis, but I think when it comes to boxing fans, there's an essence that comes with this sport, and it's an essence that hasn't been lost, unlike other sports. For an example, with football, we come from the hitting days.
Yeah.
Can't hit nowadays. You know what I mean? So boxing hasn't lost its essence. You know, they're trying to make it safer and all those sorts of things, but there's still this pureness to boxing that really doesn't exist in sports anymore, but it's still there with boxing. I think that's why people have such a problem with this kind of move from Tank Davis.
Is it more the heart? How do you guys feel being boxers?
Man, like once you hear the numbers, I'm like they're talking like I don't know the official one. They're talking about 100 mil.
Oh damn.
Like, they're talking about these insane numbers. Like I'm gonna be like, don't take that. I'm not gonna tell another man not to take that type of check, especially for something like that. It's not on your official record. It's an exhibition. I'm not gonna lie here and act like I'm not gonna say yes to 100.